Hey everyone, Lilith here with Triple Waterways. Welcome to Energy 103 Manifestation. I'm really excited to bring this to you today. The timing is it's amazing. March is here, everything is direct, everything is flowing, and I really hope everything is flowing smoothly for you. And if you're having some bumps in the road, maybe this workshop will help you. So let me grab my notes and we will get started. So to start off, what is manifestation? And manifestation is an energetic tool that brings us closer to the alignment, the timeline that we are seeking. So it's that space between timelines. So we're sitting in the present and we're wanting to be here in the future. And manifestation is that really fine place in between. And so what we're wanting to do is to merge these timelines, right? And that's where manifestation can help you. And I know this sounds like completely sci-fi, like Interstellar, but it's actually really real. So for anyone who has done manifestation in the past, I'm sure this resonates for you because you'll put something out there and all of a sudden, boom, it happens. And sometimes it happens in a few hours and sometimes it happens in a couple of years, but it happens. And the universal timing of it is really all on its own. So if you're needing a certain timeline, you manifest with the timeline in mind. So if you have to be really, really clear when you manifest, get really clear and grounded with it and say, okay, I need this to happen by the next full moon, whatever the timeline looks like for you. Or if it's open-ended and it's a really, really big dream and you're like, I'm looking for this to align in my life, leave it open for the universe to handle, because I'm sure for those who follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you saw my post on this, but manifestations also need time to cook. So think of it like dinner or a cake. Do you want it cooked well or do you want it half done? And that's what I always tell people, like sometimes waiting is better because the universe needs time to align things for you. It needs time to move things out of the way. And if you're doing the work to jump these timelines, things will shift on their own. And things will shift quickly and all of a sudden, boom, you're exactly where you want to be. So getting back to getting clear. A trick about manifestation is you want to be really specific. And when I say this is, you can put out something totally vague. Vague is what you'll get. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but these three things. Now get as specific as you can and always add on or better. And here's the thing, even if you forget something in the specifics of a manifestation, you can layer it. So think of it like a cake, right? You can layer your cake. So you want to layer your manifestation. This way, that's part of expansion. And expansion is something that I'll talk about in another workshop. So right now with manifestation, here's one layer of the cake, here's the next layer of the cake, and you're just adding the frosting in between. So now you have this beautiful cake that you're building, right? The other trick around manifestation, think about it. Is it coming from your heart and your alignment to better yourself, or is it coming from ego? And I say this because I've had a ton of people over the decades come to me asking me to help them with like love spells. Spell casting, obviously, witchery, it's a form of manifestation, right? And I don't do love spells. And there's reasons why I don't do love spells, because of another person's free will and also authenticity. Like, honestly, do you want someone to be in your life because you put a spell on them? Or do you want them to be in your life because they actually really want to be with you? Big difference here. So that's kind of where I know that's maybe oversimplified, but I want to make that piece clear is do it because this is something that is going to benefit yourself, benefit your life, benefit your children, benefit your partner, benefit your community. So you're not just thinking only of yourself. you can, but then also you have to think about, I mean, everything in life is energy. It's a give and take. What are you going to give back? How are you going to keep that energy flowing and moving so that as you layer your manifestation, that expansion can come in, right? So that's a trick of manifestation that I think, I really believe goes amiss sometimes, because people are just like, manifest, ask for what you need, get what you want, you're worth it, you deserve it. Yeah, you are worth it, and yes, you do deserve it, but there is a true alchemy that is really the root of abundance. And with that, get clear on your goal. What is your goal? And really ask yourself, is this goal like a selfish thing? Or is it something that's really aligned with my higher self? Am I striving towards my higher self? I mean, we could do small little manifestations that are harmless, that aren't going to hurt anyone else, and it's not totally egotistical, like, you know, a little bit of like, ooh, parking magic, get that goddess parking spot, right? You can do stuff like that, and actually that's really good practice. But when you're doing big ticket items, really get real with yourself and really get down with, is this aligned? Is this going to happen? If this is going to happen, what's the next step? Really plan it out well. And sometimes, you know, over the years where other people have come to me asking for assistance around this, and things just aren't quite hitting, and then I'll go back to my pendulum, or I'll go back to my cards, and we reassess it again. And it turns out it's not the best thing for them. And they have to go back and they have to assess why. So there's always reasons for something, and there's always lessons and growth that comes from it. So don't get discouraged. Keep doing it. And the most important piece is keep doing better for yourself first. And here's the thing, when you align yourself, when you're pushing yourself through your shadow work and you're aligning yourself to that higher vibration within yourself, you start attracting exactly what you're asking for, exactly what you need in your life. That's the other key of manifestation. So I want to be really clear about that, is we're not just asking for what we want, but we're actually doing work to be better people, so that we can be better to ourselves, better to our family members, better to our friends, better in community. And these things are really, really important to understand when you're manifesting. It's not as simple of, oh, because I got this parking spot, now I'm gonna go manifest $10,000. Well, great. Maybe that $10,000 is exactly what you need to pay your bills. But how is that coming to you? And remember, energy is always a give and take, right? There's always an alchemy. So what you put out there also returns to you. And when you align yourself, when you really are grounded in your alignment of seeking that higher vibration within yourself, you're attracting what is authentically, intentionally good for you with integrity. And that's the true magic right there. And the Temperance card comes to me. Patience and alchemy is the perfect pairing for manifestation. A lot of times we want things right now. And I know, here I'm coming into you from Costa Rica, but as an American, we're in the society where it's like instant gratification. We want it now. It's mine now. I want it because I said it now. Let's be real. It's a little toxic, right? Just kind of like American society right now. So how do we realign ourselves where we're grounded, we're clear, we're calm, we're kind, we're walking with integrity and justice, temperance, patience, and alchemy. So just remember those two pieces, okay? And again, manifestations can take a minute. If you're not doing the work, it may take a little longer. If you are doing the work, it can happen right away. And sometimes pieces of it will happen and you're like, whoa, that's weird. But just believe it will come. So put it out there and then rest. And that's another huge thing that I've been promoting, is rest. And also because I have a couple of dear people in my life who are always after me to rest, and I'm pretty good at balancing myself. But sometimes between my PhD studies and work and triple waterways, I am going in a few different directions. And I've got multiple irons in the fire because I'm working on multiple projects. So I have to remember to pause and to rest. And every single time I pause and I rest and I do self-care, it shifts. All of a sudden, a timeline will slam in. And I'm like, all right, cool. So with that said, you want to rest so that you have a full cup to receive. And that's really important. You can't do anything without having a full cup. You can't help anybody without a full cup. You can't even help yourself without a full cup. So take that rest for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If you need that nap and people are wanting to get a hold of you, they can wait. Honestly, they can wait. And if they can't wait and they're pressuring you, or they're going to be toxic with you of just like, well, you didn't answer me when I wanted you to answer me, cut that cord. And remember, cord cutting is another important piece of manifestation. If you go back to Energy 102, it walks you through the cord cutting. Clear out energetic things that are attached to you that you don't need. If it's not going to serve a purpose of healthy abundance, if it's not going to be something in your life that is going to serve you so that you can do better and that you can offer like this pure, beautiful, trusting energy to other people, and people are just pulling from you, cut the cord. And the reason why is you can't bring forward that timeline if you're being anchored over here by past stories, toxic people, toxic situations. The timelines won't align because you're not supposed to take the old with you into the new unless they're supposed to be with you. And those are the lessons here that come with manifestation, right? Because sometimes manifestation isn't perfect, but that's kind of the beauty of it. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be imperfectly perfect. We always have to keep growing. We always have to keep learning. And with every manifestation, every wish that we call for ourselves, we need to learn the lessons that go along with it. And that's what makes it beautiful. And if you're hearing background noise, I'm sorry. It's just where I live. So with that said, I'm going to refer to my notes here for a hot minute. Okay, let me give you an example. You want a new job. So what I want you to do is think about what kind of job you want. And this is where we get really specific. What kind of people do we want to work with? What kind of money do we want to make? What kind of responsibilities do we want to own? And most of all, what do we want to learn? Now I want you to take that in, and I want you to sit with it, and here's the key. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel yourself in this job. I want you to feel what it feels like to be appreciated, to have collaboration, healthy collaboration, management that actually listens to you, coworkers that listen to you and communicate with you. Feel that. That is manifestation. Now weave that energy as if you're already in it. Okay. How does that feel? Amazing, huh? There you go. So once you put that out there, the next step is creating the space, unless you've already created the space. Sometimes we put it out there and the space isn't created just yet. We're like, ooh, I gotta do these 5 things. Do them. It could be as simple as cleaning and organizing your house to bigger transformational work. Either way, just do it. The timing is always aligned. There's no perfect way to manifest. This is just a guide. There is no perfect way to anything. And please do not let anybody tell you differently. If they tell you that there's a perfect way of doing magic, there's a perfect way of manifesting, they're full of it and they're scamming you. So just don't. Nothing in life is going to be exact. It'll be close, and sometimes maybe it's exact, but take the imperfections, because sometimes those imperfections are like beautiful gifts and blessings that are unexpected, and that's an amazing thing. So again, to wrap up, rest, feel your manifestation, go with it, make the space, take care of yourself. If you have any questions, please drop a comment below. You can DM me on my triplewaterways_LLC on Instagram. If you're feeling generous, I always appreciate donations from folks. It helps me keep content moving. And I hope all of your dreams come true and that you live out the star card. I'll see you soon.